In chains of gold, you're released. A pretty smile, a silent song. Is this where we all belong? Bow your head, they whisper low. But how far down does freedom go? Why submissive women are happier? Is it the lie or the laughter? Hold your tongue and hold your breath.
Welcome to the Happy Submissive Podcast, the Patreon exclusive version or the also YouTube exclusive version. Well, for everyone who is supporting us, you get access to this episode. Oh, yeah. And we're talking about submission, and most importantly, well, training versus grooming, because we've been asked this question a lot, especially in the beginning of the podcast when we started putting it out there. And I guess the questions were more harsh, let's call it like that. Oh, Master?
Yes, way more harsh.
So this is the day, because people have voted on Patreon. 67% of people wanted to know more about training versus grooming.
Because I am sure there's a lot of people, when you say like you're training, no, you're grooming, they're scared that you're possess the other person.
Yeah, that you're using them, right?
Yeah.
In a bad way, not in a good way.
What do you think is the definition of between grooming and training?
Well, so that's the thing.
For
I
you.
got the real definitions on there. I googled them, but yeah, I like what you're saying. Like, I say my
Okay.
definitions, and then we go and check the
Yeah,
Merriam-Webster
Yeah,
dictionary.
then I'm gonna say mine, but
Okay.
you're gonna be biased because you know the real one.
Well, I skimmed it.
Okay.
I didn't take the time to read all of it yet. I was like, okay, we're gonna do this live, and it's gonna be better. So my definition of training versus grooming. If we say training would be first of all, it would be very conscious. So if you are being trained, it's like you're being mentored. So you have a goal, and you know that this is where you want to go. So you look for someone who is a trainer, a master, a mentor. I don't know, let's say in that way you're looking for somebody who has experience and who can train you. So it's a conscious act of submission to get to a goal. For an Olympian, it would be a gold medal, and for someone who wants to do, I don't know, like painting, it would be, if Picasso would take you under his wing, then it would be more training than grooming. But then if you go to grooming, that for me is a lot more subconscious and also not conscious. So you don't know you're being groomed until it's kind of too late. And then you realize that it's not really for your own good. So it ends up being a lot more about you not growing and you being stuck in that thing. Yeah. So it's for the good of the groomer and not of the groomed in that way. So less conscious and more, I would say more bad, in a way. But the line is thin, very thin. What about you, Master?
For me, the definition of grooming is totally sexual. The person do it just to keep it for himself and sexually exploit it. Nothing else. And maybe like some chore or something like that. But it's mostly for sexual pleasure. That's it.
So okay, if it's only for sex, then training has no sex in it?
No, it's that doesn't mean that training has no sex, but grooming is purely sexual. Training is not just sexual. It's mostly not sexual.
Mostly not. So that would be the main difference.
That's what I think.
So what about movies like Whiplash? Where like the master or the mentor is really harsh.
That's just like abusing a person.
But that's not grooming, right?
And it's not training either. It's abusing someone.
or like the Michelin star chef that we heard about
That's
recently.
abusing. That's totally abusing another human. But and for the Michelin star, they did that sexually too.
Yes. So it's just general
Just
abuse.
It's general abuse.
General abuse. So let's see what the definitions are. I got them here. So training definition. Oxford language, of course, as per Google. Yeah, I still use Google. Training. The action of teaching a person or animal a particular skill or type of behavior. So it's like you're learning something new, right?
Go fetch.
Yes. And then grooming, the practice of... No, not that one. Not that one either. Wait a second. Okay. So the first thing that comes up if you do grooming definition from the Google AI is AI overview, and it says sexual grooming.
No, that I was right.
So it's the first thing that comes up. Then there's a definition that is not so sexual. It's like the practice of brushing and cleaning the goat of a horse, dog, or other animal.
Okay.
But then there's the practice of preparing or training someone for a particular purpose or activity. So that does not involve sex. But really the first thing that comes up is sexual grooming is the process where a perpetrator builds an emotional connection, trust, and dependency with a child or vulnerable person, and often their family, to lower inhibition for the purpose of sexual abuse. It is a manipulative tactic used to groom victims for exploitation, which can occur both online and in person. So, like you said, Master, I think that there is really a tag with grooming, which means sex and victims and children and all that stuff. But then training is more large and less connected to sex necessarily.
And I think there's a lot of feminist people, that think that BDSM relationship, you and I, it's mostly grooming. They don't want to see that it's not just sexual.
Yeah, because you always go there, right? It would be easier to just think that it's this one thing, this one dark side of the moon thing. It's like, oh, submission, BDSM, this is just sadomasochist, and it is a female exploitation and all these things.
Because when you said the definition, it says like can you repeat the definition?
Yeah, of the grooming, you mean?
Yeah.
So it says sexual grooming is the process where a perpetrator builds an emotional connection, trust, and dependency with a child or vulnerable person.
Okay, this is child or vulnerable person. So be caution when the feminist person use this or you're grooming. So that means that the person is either a child or vulnerable. So they think that all the women are mostly vulnerable.
Yeah, this is what I hate about feminists, is that they always, it's like they fight as if women were lower already than men. And then they think they're going to win, whereas if you take it from a standpoint where women are equal to men in their own perspective, of course, like some stuff is different, then you say, okay, women are not weak. So they can do whatever they want and be whomever they want, and so there's a less of a chance of grooming.
Vulnerable, that word.
Women in general are not vulnerable. Some women are, just like some men are. But the people that we've seen in, let's call them bad BDSM relationships, or just bad relationships, right? We don't even need to go to BDSM or to the kink community. We've seen bad relationships in very vanilla relationships. And it's always that the woman is always vulnerable before. It's very rare that you will see a woman that, let's call it like this, that goes to the psychologist, that takes all her vitamins, that everything is okay and she's sound and she has a good job and her own bank account and all these things, and then she will get abused. Like, I mean, it's a lot rarer because she has a lot more going for her, and so she's less of a target for predators because she's not vulnerable, so it's harder to get them. Yeah. Or like if let's say the movie that I saw again, The Housemaid.
The Housemaid
With Sydney Sweeney
Sweeney
and Amanda Seyfried. Well, the thing is, this guy, which is the, let's say, the predator, he was, you assume that he was beaten by his mother when he was a child. Of course, it always comes from that. And then, but the thing is, he goes for women who are more vulnerable. Like, both of these women were vulnerable women. He didn't go for empowered women, let's call it like that. He went for vulnerable women, and he was rich, and he had this, this aura and all of these things. And so then he made them, or he groomed them into being something else. But all of that while manipulating them and while not letting them go out.
And again, it was mostly sexual, right?
Yes. Well, sexual at the beginning, then it became just manipulative. At the beginning, it's like very sexual focus, because that's how he kind of gets them, and with his money and the sex. And then at one point, it becomes just about appearances and about control.
See, that's a thing that I'm not sure to understand, but I'm not sure how many people are doing that without the sex.
Oh.
See, you're a bad person, so you find someone and you grooming, and it's not for sex. It's just to manipulate those people. I think this is more rare than it's just sexual. Like in your movie, it was sexual in the beginning, but not anymore. So it was purely manipulative for some reason. I hope she did the dishes, but I think that would be rare.
Oh, so you think it has to have a sexual connotation?
Yeah, I'm sure for statistic, most people that groom someone, a child, is even more sexual when it's a child. But for a regular person, 18 and over person, then if it's not the sex, I think it's not a thing.
Well, because also, let's not forget, sex is power, right? That's the whole point. So they go hand in hand. If you have sexual like oversight, if you can exert power with sex as much as the rest.
Yeah, but because this is rough sex mostly. When you go home and you take your woman and you go like after a good day of work because you're working at a shop, and you take your woman and you fucked her really good, and then you're satisfied as a man. I'm saying it's kind of a power. Then, go do the dishes. This is, again, even if he does the dishes after, it was just for the sex. I don't think he goes home and, just do the dishes. Or if he do that, you didn't clean the house correctly today. No. You're a bad person. I'm sure she's going to get in the ass.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it's always related to the sex at one point.
I think it's related to the sex in all the points.
Well, okay, but what I'm saying is exactly what you're saying, Master, is that even in like men trying to dominate other men, there is sex. Like there's sodomy. Like in that way. So power and sex go together. And grooming is a bit that. So you're trying to get, let's say, the sex from that person, but you're also trying to get the dishes or whatever it is, but it's really just about wanting to control somebody else. That's what grooming is.
Yeah, and then the sex became a rape.
Yes.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure the woman doesn't want it.
No, not when you're in this type of relationship, right? Not when you've been groomed into it.
Exactly. Then you need to read the dictionary saying like you're vulnerable. Women that have this kind of life, they're vulnerable. That word.
Yeah. Or like they're already like kind of these victims, or have more of these check marks on them that makes them vulnerable for these type of men, or these type of just like relationships in general. So training, that would be like completely different, because training would be it's like the two find each other, not one finds the other. And then training, I feel, hurts differently.
Well, I'm sure because training, if you train someone to accomplish something, it's never easy.
Exactly.
It's not even if it's just gardening. It's not easy to garden. It's not easy to play drums like the Whiplash movie. It's not easy to pay your taxes. It's not easy. So at a certain point, I think it could feel like abusing.
Well, that's where that's where the line is thin, I think, is that training hurts a lot too. I think the grooming though is it hurts but in a different way. Training, okay, let's call it like that. If I could synthesize training is that at one point you won't need your master, or your master, like, you know, the student will be better than the master, or
Yeah, and this is like a vérité de la palisse. The student's going to be better. Of course, the master is going to get weaker and weaker, but he's getting old. This is like, I hope.
it's the circle of life. It's gonna die. So
it's not because he's better than the master. It's just because the masters get old and he forgot things. That's what it is. It's just a pure truth.
Yeah.
Truth social.
Okay, so that would be, I think training would be that you are given the tools so that at one point you don't need that person. You become your own master, and then you can train other people, right? This is the whole point of training. Whereas in grooming, if you do that to another person, it's because you were like scarred. It's not, you know, we're talking like really bad stuff happened. And so there's no tools given so that you can be more independent or more alone, not alone in a bad way, not like isolated, but
most of the time the grooming is just like the person's is not independent.
Exactly.
The training, the person becomes independent.
Yeah, there's growth there. There's focus. There's consciousness. There might be sex depending on like who's who in that situation. But for grooming, then there's more of a keeping in a cage type of thing. Like you don't want other people to know what you're doing. If you're a groomer, you know it's wrong.
Yes, I'm sure most of the groomers know what they're doing is wrong.
Mm-hmm. But as an individual, I think like to know the difference can be confusing or complicated, especially from an outside standpoint, because people are so easy to judge. You know, like they judge us.
Yeah. They judge us because I'm older and you're young. And now they totally think that you're with me because of the money. Just like my doctor think you were with me too for my money too.
Yeah. Okay, so that means that we know that people already assume like the worst. So they assume the grooming. But this is the most interesting thing, because every time in my life when I've been in a situation where either like when I was a child and I was groomed, or when I was with you and I was trained and I'm still being trained, it's funny how people thought that you were more bad than my pedophile back in the day. It's funny how people like they see the truth, you know, but they don't want to see it. So it's easier to think that, because the groomers are like, or the pedophiles are all these people, they're a lot more secretive. They do it so much more secretive that everybody is not sure, and nobody wants to kind of, you know, poke the bear or all that stuff. But when we're like we are out in the open doing all of that, I mean, we get the comments from people because they can comment. But when I was a child, nobody commented.
No, because they didn't know.
Because that's what grooming is.
Grooming is mostly secretive.
Yeah, secretive.
What do you do for a living? I'm a groomer. Ooh, you don't say that publicly. And they're going to assume that, okay, you take care of pets? No, I'm a human. I'm a human groomer. This is not, it's not going to go well.
No, definitely not going to go well for you. Well, so I think this is one of the most shocking thing, right? Because I've kind of been in both situations. But I wasn't conscious.
Yeah.
And like, if we go like deeper, it's like, well, how could you go from one to another? I feel like there is a lot to be said about the differences between grooming and training, because one is like fully chosen and the other one is not chosen. And if you're under 18, then that doesn't count. You have no choice. Like there's no you're not developed. You're a child. There's no way that can happen in that way. But then if you're an adult and you go into a relationship where there's training involved, and it's kind of like ours. It's labeled as BDSM-ish, and I call you master. That does
It
not
doesn't
help.
help at all.
And then, well, we do arts together and we do business together. But what the people will see is mostly that.
They will see or think that you are vulnerable and I'm abusing you all the time.
Yeah. When it's interesting because I feel like there's a lot of like dissonance there, because how usually women, I know there's some beautiful women that get abused. It's not that. I know there are. It's like there's everything out in the world, but in general, the abused women that I saw, it's not going well for them. They're like, their aura's not great. There's something wrong. You can kind of see it, feel it, right? There's like, I don't know. There's something. They're not fully empowered, and usually they can't go out like half dressed like I do.
No, they're really like vulnerable. I'm gonna vulnerable. They're really like that. So they stay inside. Mostly they don't go out.
And most of these men don't want to show them.
Yeah, exactly. And they don't talk to other men, and they don't like, men don't trust a woman.
Yeah, so there's jealousy, there's a lot of manipulation, but there's a lot of keeping. Whereas like, I have to stop saying like, me and you show me. You've always shown me.
Yeah.
I'm out there.
Because I trained you to be beautiful.
Yes, master. And because, I mean, this is the complete opposite, I think, too, about grooming versus training. A trainer, again, let's take the Olympics, is not going to be like, oh yeah, she's the best skater ever in the ice ring where nobody sees her. No, she's going to the Olympics. Like, she has to go to the Olympics. Or he, doesn't matter, the sex and all that. But you train this person so they can go win something. So they have to be out there. You need to make sure that they can be out there. Whereas the other one is really, staying home, not talking to people, having a lot less friends.
And usually they're not beautiful people. Usually they're like pretty ordinary, because, when you don't take care of someone, it becomes not as beautiful as you. So most of the time they're not good looking.
It's like when we were on, FetLife, or even Marché des Esclaves, or places where these kinks and these deviances are more on the forefront, and you try to find a submissive, let's say, or somebody like that. It tends a lot to be more according to abuse and grooming.
Yes, exactly. Most of the people in FetLife are not like you.
No. And it's easy to spot, right? Like really easy to spot. And that is what I think is very interesting about the grooming versus training, and why everybody thinks, a lot of people think that I've been groomed by you, or just I've been groomed into this, all of this, my life right now, right?
Yeah, I think also because they cannot have you, so there's a jealousy part of it. So when, come with me, I'm going to kidnap you, I want you to be with me, and all that stuff, they want to remove you from me. Actually, that's what, and we saw that a lot. So then it's easy to say like he's grooming her because the other person wants you and you don't go.
Yeah, why else? So why else would I be with you for them? And why? And the fact that they want me makes it really weird, because and this is so true what you just said. Like, people text me and say, "Oh, I just want to kidnap you." It's funny, but it's not. Like, I had these texts. "Oh, I just want you all to myself." People have said that to me.
Yeah, because they want
you.
to remove, they want to remove you from me and keep it for yourself. So
But
then they always say he's abusing her or he's grooming her because they cannot have you.
But this is so weird, because in the end, they want to do exactly what a groomer is. They want to kidnap me.
Exactly that.
And they want to keep me from themselves and hide me. Like, put me in a real cage and not show me to anybody and be like, "Oh, she's mine now." Whereas this is the complete difference that how they met me, let's say. They met me because you allow me to be out there.
But
and,
they don't
and-
want to accept that then, because if they're not with them, they are the okay person. If you're with me and you're not with them,
Yeah.
it's because they are, how can I say that? Those the people that are not grooming you or not training you. They're put everything on me.
Okay. I think I understand, Master. So, the way their mind might work, again, that's like subconscious. I think most of it is
it's totally subconscious.
not out there, but it would be the only excuse they have to.
Okay, the only excuse they have for not you joining them is because of me.
Yeah, and because of course I would be manipulated into not. It's not that I don't want to.
Exactly that. It's exactly that.
It cannot be that I don't
rephrase
want
that
to.
for people to truly understand.
Well, yeah, okay. So it cannot be that I have my own will, which happens a lot. People think I don't have my own will for many different reasons. I think it's just easier that way. It's easier to explain, like our relationship.
Because those people are so amazing, so great, so perfect that you should be with them, not
in
with
their
me.
mind.
In their mind.
In their minds, because they don't take the time to like know you, and not just know you, but I mean, why would I know me as well? They see what they want to see. They see the beauty. They see.
They just
the
want the
end
beauty.
product.
They wanna have you for
They-
alone.
Yeah.
And probably most of those people would not want you to go out and talk to other persons.
Of course not. Of course, I'm sure of it. And also, they have no idea what I'm like what I need to be this person. And I think that's very different from training and grooming. Grooming, you don't take in like what somebody needs, and so you don't like water them the right way.
And they just want to kiss you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just sexual.
Yeah. So it is more of a grooming thing. They want to get me out to groom me into their ways and keep me from themselves.
And kiss you.
And kiss me. Yeah, kiss me. And just, I don't know, chain me to a bed and abuse me all day.
the number of women that just look at you and told you directly, "Can I kiss you?" I remember I have two right now in my mind.
Yeah.
One in Surrey when we lived there, and one we were in the swinging club. Can
Yeah,
I kiss you?
And
Like-
the other one here.
Yeah. Yeah, and the other one here.
So it happens.
It happens. They just want to kiss you.
And you're like, well, thank you, but I don't know you. Like, I think, it's like that. And then it's a bit the same thing as a Ferrari. Like, you might want a Ferrari, and it was like a meme at one point. I don't know who did that. Maybe it was Lady Gaga. She gave a Ferrari, or it was Mr. Beast or something. She just gave out a Ferrari. Maybe it was a Lambo. Let's not get into details.
An exotic car.
An exotic car. Some guy won the exotic car. It was a young man, I don't know, maybe 20-ish. He won it. And he was like, okay, that's great, but you know what? I don't even have enough money to change the plate on this thing. Like, I don't even have enough money to change the oil. I don't. The cost of a Lambo or a Ferrari or all these cars is so much to maintain. Like, you need a garage. You know, all these things that come with these cars is the same thing as the people that say, oh, he's speeding on the highway. Well, he has the money to pay for the ticket. I mean, he's driving a Lambo. So this goes both ways. When you have a woman like me, the tire change is expensive, like really expensive. I'm not talking Botox. I'm not even talking just aesthetics, just mentally. Like all the stuff you do with me every day mentally, all of that. If I didn't have that, I wouldn't be the person I am. And I would probably, I would get so bored. Like, you really need...
Yes. Because you're a little Pomeranian. We need to keep you, doing stuff.
Entertained.
Go fetch the ball. Go play.
And active. And so these are all things that maybe you do not...
Okay, you're more like a border collie.
Okay.
You know those
The sheepdog.
yeah, the sheepdog. Yeah, you're more like that.
So I need to, I need to be very mentally stimulated. But people, because I'm pretty, just assume I need to be very sexualized, which is completely different.
Yeah, totally different. You're a border collie from now.
Yeah, sex is great, but it's not entertaining enough for me. I need more. And so most people cannot entertain me, unfortunately for them. But they think so with the kissing and with whatever other
With the
sexual
sex.
things.
With just the sex.
Which is the sex.
When you just need to fetch a ball.
Yeah, but that's more my thing. So the grooming is, again, it's something that people have so much hate for, and they should. It's not, you shouldn't groom people. But in the end, I feel like it's so human to want that thing and want it sexually but cannot have it. So you have to, so they think that I was groomed, and then in the end they also kind of want to groom me. So it's funny how you hate that thing, but at the same time you want to do it to that person. You want to own that person. You want,
and that's why they hate me more, because they cannot have you.
Yeah.
So it goes even worse than the Beauty and the Beast kind of thing. I hate that guy because he's got like a Ferrari. You know, when the people, I hate that guy. It's like I hate the guy that invented like open claw. I did it. But he did it
You
first.
did it, master. I know you did it.
But, I'm jealous.
It's like, it's envy. It's so much envy that, and maybe, jealousy because it's three people in that way, that any way to explain it that would make you feel like you're not a loser
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly that.
would make sense. It's like all of if we're going there to grooming versus training, it's like all of the guys that would be like, well, you're older, so why do you have a younger girl? And I'm older too, so why don't I have a younger girl? Well, just because you're not that guy, because you couldn't get one. It's pretty easy. It's not like, doesn't matter who you are, how you are. It's really about you as a person.
Exactly that, and they're jealous, and they look at their current wife or their current situation, and they go like, okay, we're in an open relationship because you want to be with the other girl instead of your wife.
Yeah. Okay, which leads me again to the I think the training versus the grooming being that I had it that people, so the people who train are no, I lost it.
It's okay.
It was good though.
Again, so it's always, let's go back to the subject that grooming versus training. And so the people that think that I'm grooming you, it's the people that would like to groom you.
Exactly.
And keep you for yourself and use you as a sexual toy instead of going fetch the balls. I prefer Pomeranian. It's cuter.
It's really cute. Pomeranian is really cute. Pomeranian. Oh, I had this other analogy to help us go somewhere, and that would be the trainer versus the drug dealer. So the drug dealer would be more like a groomer in the sense that he keeps on giving you stuff so that you come back, but you're completely dependent on the drug dealer. You can't get out of the drug dealer situation. You're stuck there. Whereas the trainer in the other way would really be, again, the trainer would show you how to make drugs, which you shouldn't do.
You shouldn't do that.
But in the end, that's really the difference, though. The difference is that one keeps you hidden away, but also keeps you lacking knowledge, keeps you far from other people's perspective, a bit like a cult or a religion, right? They want you to not know what's out there so that you stay there in this mindset. And then there's, of course, the abuse and all that. At the beginning, I'm guessing, because I was very young when it happened to me, so I don't recall all of it, quite frankly, but I'm guessing that if you are being groomed as a, let's say, somewhat adult, even though vulnerable, there's a comfort in it, right? Because you're being kind of desired. You're being really, somebody's putting a lot of focus and attention on you.
You got a lot of attention. Not good attention, but you got a lot of attention.
And at the beginning, there's nothing bad about it yet. They need to groom you. That's the whole point. So there's this curve of it feels, I guess, very safe and very good at the beginning until it starts to slowly become something else. But that's like we say often, grooming is a very slow process, and these people are patient, very patient.
I don't have that patience.
No.
I'm not patient at all.
Trainers are not patient, I think, not as much as groomers.
Yeah, that's why when you train a dog, you need to be patient. Those things are stupid. I don't like to be with stupid people. I don't have time to groom them.
And I was hearing this thing about it was about Broadway. You heard a little bit of it, and about an actual writer for Broadway who had a master, and he said I hate critics because the critics are so bad and all of that, but I would definitely love critic from my master. And it's true, he really enjoyed to be heavily criticized from his master, and that's how he could become better. And so there is this difference, same critique but different. It comes from a different person, and so from somebody you might not respect.
Because the critic itself just critique you, don't help you at all. It just says this was bad, he's a bad actor, but he doesn't tell you why you're a bad actor, as compared to a trainer that says you're a bad actor because you did this and this or that.
And the respect of the skill and expertise too. I think this is very important also when training versus grooming. Is this person does this person have the skills? Because it's let's take Rocky. best movie for training ever. So you have Rocky and you have the older guy, and we use this analogy often, Master and I think his name was Mickey, and he trains Rocky, right? But he's older and he's not a boxer anymore. He's a trainer. He trains. He doesn't hit. He trains Rocky. So Rocky respects him and listens to him because he has the skill and he's trained many other boxers. But Rocky wouldn't listen to another random person telling him all these things. So when you go in a training, or you're looking for this trainer, master, or this person, coach, yeah, that's a good point. You're looking for someone who has a portfolio, credentials, who has real things. That's how you can judge. If it's just sexual, then what's your pedigree?
Your body count.
Wrong, Jeremy. That okay, but if you are really in a training type of relationship and you want to find a coach, then of course you're gonna look at, okay, how many athletes this coach make win gold medals, or what's their portfolio? How is this person really doing this? Can this person do this? When we started writing to each other and when we met later on, you had women with you before, and you had made what I wanted to be before with another woman. So it was not you were a random guy working in a shop and then being okay, I'm gonna be your photographer and I'm gonna make you famous. But you had no skills.
You work in a shop.
Yeah. You're like a construction worker, and now you want to make someone famous on the internet? Where's your credentials? So always ask for credentials. That's going to help not get groomed.
Yes, your portfolio. What's your portfolio?
Because you had one. You had the ad agency. You had all the social medias. You had the awards. I mean, you had all these things. And you had the ex that was beautiful to show for it. So when you have all these things to show for it, then it's really a thing of analyzing and being clever and thinking, well, okay, actually, if this all happened, then it can happen again. It makes sense.
And again.
And again. That's a big difference between groomer and trainer, or like Master said, master, coach, all of these people that really, that's their job, or that's what they're already doing. Then they just need somebody to, it's very complimentary, right?
Say yes. Just someone that is willing to say yes, not a couple of times during a month, but all the times.
Because me without you or you without me doesn't work. We do complement work together.
Because you say yes to what I'm saying because you want to achieve something.
Yes, and a photographer without a model is not a photographer, and a let's say an ad agency without a product is not an ad agency. Yeah.
Picasso without all those women.
Not Picasso. Well, same thing. Whereas a groomer, of course, needs somebody to groom. They need to abuse this person, and they need this person to take and keep. But again, there's just nothing else there than the bad experience. Very rarely would it do something good in that way. And I have a few examples because of course I was wondering what examples do we have? And if like the biggest we do have is Céline Dion and René Angélil, that would be trainer more. Like,
Oh yeah. It's exactly like us.
so he was his manager, she was his artist, let's call it like that, and then they stayed together, and then of course he just died because he was old.
Someone said a bad thing about René about a week ago or
Oh, yeah?
something. Yeah. I think it was Julie Le Breton or something. She's an actress from Quebec.
Yeah.
And she said something really bad about René, and because he was older and all that. And I don't remember exactly what. So Céline got mad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she got mad.
But this is interesting because even after his death, and René died in 2016, and we're in 2026 right now, so it's been 10 years. So let's just say that if something bad did happen between them, she could have gone out for like 10 years. She could have like told her story the way she wanted to tell it. And so far has not said anything bad about him. So whatever happened between them is still deemed as okay and all right, because she never went the other way. She never said, oh, he did this bad. And if Julie said something bad, well, that's interesting because of course he
What she said was just purely judgmental.
Oh, okay. So it was not like the Epstein files.
No, it was not like the Epstein files. It was purely judgmental.
About their relationship, right?
Yeah,
And
because he was old.
and there's a lot of judgment about the relationship because they met when she was 12 and he was 30, I think 38 or 36, something like that. But they didn't consume, or they said they didn't consume until very much later.
Until 18.
Well, she says 21.
Oh,
And then they
whatever.
got, I think it was 19. Sorry, 19 probably had sex the first time and they got married when she was 25. So they waited. And their relationship stayed like very much
Forever.
out of the public for all that time. So we don't know.
We don't
we
know.
will
We
never
will
know.
never know.
We will never know. Only they will know. But this is interesting because then when I was just searching for this, and I didn't know this, but it seems like Mariah Carey also had a thing with her manager, but this was the complete opposite. So he exploited her, and he kept her indoors, and he would make her like produce a lot but not see anyone, and it was very abusive and not, I guess, out in the open or not protective in that way. Because even with Céline and René, there was this thing in Quebec, which you told me. I was younger back then. Céline is older than me, she's about your age. And but you couldn't touch this woman. Like,
no. You
could not say bad things about her.
Or
He would always be with lawyers, and so the Québécois press could not say bad things about this woman ever, and she was everywhere. Because she used to do like an album in English, one in French, one in English, one in French. So she tried to keep to her roots a little bit and have this duality always. So she was still very popular in Quebec in that way because she kept the French going on. But yeah, she was untouchable. And not because of herself, but because of him. He was protecting her.
no, yeah, he was protecting her.
But he was protecting her without keeping her to himself.
Oh no, she was on the stage like every day.
Exactly. And doing what she loved the most every day. So this is, quite interesting. But again, people thought that, especially, I think, of course, the age difference makes it easier to believe that grooming occurs. Because you think that the younger individual would be dumber, not as smart, not more naive, more innocent. And so it would be easier to abuse them, which is true as a child. But at one point, I think that you come to an age where whatever age you are, it's just, you have this experience, you have this age, of course, but it doesn't mean you're dumb and doesn't mean you're vulnerable. It just means you're younger. Because when we met, I was younger. Vulnerable, that I would argue that one a lot. I wouldn't say it was vulnerable.
I don't think so, because you were always working hard for doing your trips and all that. So you were kind of independent for that. You just wanted to learn and to do what we're doing right now.
Yeah. And then, well, you on your end, you were looking for somebody to do that with. I mean, youth does help for sure, but there's still this I guess this limit of youthfulness, and it's a bit like one of your friends said, "Oh, but you won't have any conversation with her; she's too young."
I've been with other women that were a bit younger, and it didn't last because they were not mature enough mentally. It was not the age; it was just mature.
And where do you want to go in life?
Exactly.
For it to be training, I think there really needs to be this this complementarity, so this common goal. It's not just on sex, like we said. It cannot.
It's a common goal, and sex is not a goal. You know,
Sex is just sex, and it's great.
It's not a goal. What do you want to do in life? Have great sex, like in a porno, no, just like with my wife, just being the best at it. Are you gonna make money with just that? I don't know yet. I didn't figure that out.
If sex is that important, yeah, you should go in porn. If not, there's no other reason. And so that's why the grooming is really just about taking the sex, abusing this person, and then, well, yeah, it does nothing good to this person and this other person, pretty much. But the training gets you out there, gets you so much out there that some other people might want to, actually groom you.
Exactly.
Whereas this is very complicated. So also, I do want to get back to that before we close all of this, and that is that I think training is harder than most people think, but not for the same reason as grooming. There is really this it's very difficult, but it's not supposed to go into abuse, like we said. And so that's another another point, and it would be a completely different podcast.
With or without the abusing of the other person when you train, just like whiplash and all that, you just need patience still.
Yes.
But the patient doesn't need that you need to abuse, mentally or physically someone else, but it's the same patient. Training someone, you need patience.
Yes. And you need also the it's gonna hurt. You're gonna be humiliated and degraded a little bit, but not in a way that wouldn't make sense towards your common goal, again, towards what you want to achieve. There's a difference between being, let's say, humiliated and degraded and hurting, where it's not towards that goal. And that's, I think, how you can tell if it makes no sense. Let's say if you want to draw, so you have to use your hands, and then your trainer would start hitting your hands, then that would make no sense. That's an abuser, because
exactly that.
You're supposed to use your hands for your craft. It makes no sense. So this is an easy way to say it, and nothing is as easy in life. But I think that, that's interesting, and that's why Submissive Women Are Happier got a bit of these mixed reviews from people at the beginning, thinking it was grooming or it was abusing, because just the word submission would mean that there is this what is it called? It's like Stockholm syndrome of being with your groomer, your abuser, and then you're happier because you love them, but you're stuck in this. Whereas that takes like a whole entire, that takes the whole book to figure out. I think you can't just judge two people and see this and think this. Most times I feel like the people that are really in these bad relationships, those are the ones that you would never think. And relationships like mine and together, Master and I, people judge it because they think that's what it is. It's easier to think that's what it is, but it's not. It looks like that, but it's not that. And so we have the wrong idea about what these might be. So this is
just like when we look at your book cover, we got the wrong idea.
Mm-hmm.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
That's the whole point. And so when people are done reading it, they're supposed to assimilate that. And that's the most important thing about the entire book. Thank you, everybody, for being here on the Happy Submissive podcast. And it's exclusive, uncensored, unfiltered, raw. variation. Yeah, I wanted to thank like all of our patrons. We have a few going on. Thank you so much for all of you. Some of you've been there since the very beginning. I'm thinking of Valentin, Swifter. Yeah, you guys have been there like forever. Midnight Smoke also. And all of the new ones that keep on being added. Thank you also for being here. And we will post more polls. Yeah, because these things are like, people like polls. People really like polls. If you have any other questions, insights, or you want us to put in a poll different topics that you have ideas about and you want to make them compete, well, just tell me in a comment and we'll make that happen. All right, I'm Marian Delacroix, also infamously known as Piper Blush all over the internet, but you already knew that. And Master?
Yes, that's
it.
I'm watching my brother.
That's it for this episode. Hope you hear us in the next one.
Say kneel down and you'll find peace. In chains of gold, you're released. A pretty smile, a silent song. Is this where we are?